I still remember the day the village elder said Chike was the one who would save us. You know, the boy everyone called the son of no one, the one no one cared about, the one everybody mocked. It was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard. And I still can't wrap my head around it. But what happened after? Well, that's something I can't forget. It all started a long time ago. Before the elder spoke those words, Chike was born to Amina, a woman with no known family wealth or status. She was different from the rest of us in the village. And when she gave birth to Chike, it wasn't a blessing. It was a curse. People whispered behind her back, calling Chike the son of no one, a boy without a father, without a future. He was an outsider from day one, and the village made sure he knew about it. The other kids will call him names, tease him about his unknown father, and always remind him that he wasn't one of them. Even the elders, the supposed wisest amongst us, would scold him for his difference, telling him to stick to what was proper and to leave the music and arts to those who had respectable skills. It was cruel, and I watched it all unfold, helpless to stop it. But Chike, he never fought back with anger. He was quiet, humble, and he had a way of making the best of things. He didn't let the worst break him, even though I could see the hurt in his eyes. He'd sit by the river with his mother, learning things about nature and the world that most of us didn't even care to understand. Amina would speak to him about the wind, the stars, the earth. She'd tell him all the special things, that one day the world will see him for who he truly was. We didn't believe it. The villagers mocked Chike for his music, the way he could make a flute sing like a bird or a drum dance with the rhythm of the sun. It was beautiful, yes, but it didn't fit into our ways. The elders thought it was foolish. They preferred tradition, sticking to the old ways that had been passed down from generations. So Chike kept playing, but his music didn't change anyone's mind. They still saw him as a boy with no name, with no future. Everything stayed like that until one day, disaster struck. The crops, which were healthy and strong, suddenly withered. The rivers that flowed through our village dried up, and the animals that once roamed freely fled, as if they knew something terrible was coming. The elders gathered quickly, afraid and uncertain, but we are all terrified, unsure of what was happening or how to fix it. We had never faced something like this before. There was only one thing left to do: call on the Oloro, the spiritual leader. The Oloro was said to have the power to speak with the gods and interpret the signs. When he arrived, he walked through the village with his eyes scanning everything: the dry fields, the empty riverbeds, the silence in the air. He didn't say anything for a long time, but when he did, it changed everything. The curse is powerful, the Oloro said. His voice quiet but heavy with meaning, and it will not lift easily. The only way to save this land is for the one who has been cast aside, the one people rejected, to rise up and claim their true powers. Only the rejected stone can become the chief cornerstone. The villagers fell silent. No one spoke. We all looked around, confused, trying to understand what he meant. Who is this rejected stone? Someone finally asked. The Oloro gaze fell on Chike, standing quietly at the back of the crowd. This Chike, he said, his words ringing through the village like thunder. I couldn't believe it. The boy we had all rejected, the one we had mocked, the one with no father, the one who had never fit in, was supposed to save us? How could it be? The murmurs spread through the crowd like wildfire. Chike, people whispered, some of them laughing nervously. How can he save us? He's nothing but trouble. He's a curse himself. But Yoloru was unshaken. It is the very one you have rejected who would redeem you. You must accept this truth, for your salvation lies in his hands. The elders who had spent years turning their backs on Chike were now forced to face the reality of the situation. Reluctantly, they gathered together and decided, with heavy hearts, to give him a chance. But even they weren't convinced. That night, I saw Chike sitting alone by the river, staring into the water. He didn't look angry, didn't look sad, he just looked lost. I went to him, unsure of what to say. But I needed to ask, are you really going to do this? I asked, my voice hesitant. He looked up at me, his eyes tired but filled with a quiet strength. What choice do I have? He replied softly. The village needs me. The land needs me. I have to go. But they have rejected you, Chike. How can you do this when they don't even believe in you? I have to, he said, looking down back at the river. I am not doing it for them. I am doing it because it is what I was meant to do. I have been rejected all my life, but I won't let that define me anymore. I didn't know what to say to that. I could see the weight of it on him, the pressure of what he was about to face. He was a boy who had always been told he was nothing, and now he was being asked to save us all. But what if you fail? I asked. What if it's too much for you? What if the curse is stronger than you? Chike stood up, his face calm. I have been failing my whole life, but I have been surviving too, and I will keep surviving. I will not let this curse destroy everything we have. It was then I realized Chike wasn't just going to save the village. He was going to prove to himself that he was more than what we have all made him. He had already accepted what none of us could see, that the journey he was about to take wasn't just about lifting the curse. It was about showing everyone that he was worth something, that he was worthy of being a part of this world. The next morning, Chike left the village, and his mother Amina stood at the door holding back tears. Please, my son, she whispered, don't go. They will never accept you no matter what you do. But Chike looked at her with such calmness, with such conviction. I have to, mother. If I don't, everything will be lost. And with that, he turned and walked away, carrying the staff the Oloro had given him, the symbol of the ancestors of strength, of the land itself. Chike's journey to the mountains of the spirit was not an easy one. The path was treacherous, winding through thick forest where shadows seemed to stretch far too long, and the air grew colder with every step. The wild animals that roamed these lands were known for their ferocity, and they didn't take kindly to intruders. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow over the earth, Chike was approached by a pack of wild beasts, massive, crawling creatures with eyes that gleamed with hunger. They circled him, snarling and ready to strike. Chike didn't flinch. Instead, he gripped the ancestral staff tightly. his wood warm in his hand, as if it has been waiting for this moment. The first of the beasts launched at him, but with a swift motion, Chike raised the staff and stroked the creature across its face. The staff crackled with energy, and a shock wave of power rippled through the air. The beast yelped in pain, staggering back. The others hesitated for a moment, sensing the strength within the boy. But Chike didn't hesitate. He moved with the rhythm of the earth itself, spinning and striking, each blow stronger than the last. The staff hummed with an ancient power, glowing faintly under the moonlight. The wild creatures were no match for the strength of the staff. One by one, they retreated into the shadows, their growls fading into the distance. Chike stood tall, his heart pounding, but his spirit unbroken. He knew the path ahead would be difficult, but with the staff in his hands, he felt a connection to something far greater than himself, a strength passed down from his ancestors, from the land itself. When he finally reached the peak of the mountain of the spirits, the wind howled fiercely around him, and the cold was nearly unbearable. But Chike didn't waver. He stood at the mountain summit, his body tired, his face windblown, but his eyes full of resolve. As he raised the staff high, the sky seemed to crack open. A blinding light descended from the heavens, and in the glow, the spirits of his ancestors appeared before him. They were earth beings, glowing with an otherworldly light, their faces both kind and solemn. The air around them crackled with power. One spirit older than the rest stepped forward. Its voice was deep, resonating with the wisdom of ages. Chike, son of no one, you have come as we know you would. You have shown strength, courage, and perseverance, and you have earned the right to stand among others. Chike bowed his head, holding the ancestral staff before him in respect. I am here, spirits, not for glory, but to save my people. The curse that has befallen them, I must lift it for their survival. The spirits murmured among themselves, their voices like the rustling of leaves. Finally, the elder spoke again. The curse can only be lifted by one who has been cast aside, one who has embraced the true power. You, Chike, have done this, but you must now make a choice. Will you return to your village to lead them, or would you seek to abandon them as they once abandoned you? Chike stood tall, his heart steady. I will return, not for them but for myself. I have learned that the greatest power lies in the acceptance of who I am, not who they want me to be. I will return not as the boy who was rejected, but as the man I was always meant to be. The spirits smiled, their faces full of pride. Go, Chike, go and fulfill your destiny. You will bring life to your people once again. With their blessings, the spirits faded into the light, leaving Chike standing alone on the mountain, his heart filled with a new kind of strength. The weight of the world was still heavy on his shoulders, but now he was ready. He had become the man he needed to be, and he was prepared to return and lift the curse, not just for the village, but for himself. Days passed without any word from Chike. The village, once full of panic and fear, now sat in a strange, uneasy silence. Some people still didn't believe in him and still thought he was just a curse. But I saw it differently. Chike had already accepted that he wasn't going to be anyone's idea of a hero. He was going to do this for himself, for the land, for the people who had once rejected him. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Chike returned. And when he did, it was like the earth itself had come back to life. The crops began to grow again. The rivers flowed once more, and the animals returned to the forest. The curse was gone, and Chike, he wasn't the boy we had always mocked. He was different now, stronger, wiser. He had done it. He had saved us. The villagers who had once scorned him now gathered around him, seeking his guidance, asking him to lead. Chike didn't hesitate. He accepted his place as the new chief, not out of bitterness, but out of love for his people. He has done what none of us thought was possible. So what did I learn from this? Sometimes the people we reject, the ones we overlook, are the ones who have the power to change everything. Chike wasn't just the boy who saved the village. He was the reminder that sometimes the most unexpected people are the ones we need the most. And for all the years we thought he was nothing, Chike has proven he was everything.